Hello everyone! Today I would like to present you the first half of my specially developed suspension for the W202, the track and race suspension, which you can also use on the street if you would like. And some of you might have already seen the specially made dampers in my online shop. That's how they look. And I have some other equipment here we will talk about in a minute. So I would like to present you this damper and explain what is special about it and what is the goal of it. And then we will assemble it to the car. And I will show you some details of the assembly. These dampers are mechanically based on the well-known and also proven Koni yellows. The adjustable ones with the dual tube design. The ones I also used in all of my cars already, also the first years in my race car. And because I like them so much and they work really nice. And there's a special company which has its roots at the Koni group. And they configure these dampers according to the wishes and the parameters of the customer. And that's how these dampers were created. So from my experience, I told them the spring rates, the damping forces, and also calculated some stuff. And they put also their experience into the equation, and together we developed this nice setup. From the outside, of course, you don't see the difference, but there's some very special motorsport parts inside to get the performance you would need for the racetrack. And in addition, I developed some nice gimmicks. So as you can see, this is not the standard rubber bearing here. I developed a uniball bearing, also based on the well-known and very high quality fluoro bearings, and also a click system for the adjustability, because those of you who know these dampers already know that the adjustability is without clicks and is therefore somewhat uncomfortable to do, I would say. And I developed this part which has some spring-loaded pieces here, and with those it is possible to have the feel of real clicks. That's what you see here. So you have 24 clicks to adjust these dampers. And some features of this configuration is that, for example, there's a very high grade Motorsport oil in the dampers. So this is nothing which you would find for a street damper. They have a very high foam resistance. So even when they are used very hard, the oil doesn't get foamy, and therefore the damper performance decreases during time. Also, the valves inside of the dampers are special to match the high spring rates of the springs I will present you hopefully beginning of next year, and also give you the motorsport-like performance you would like for the track. And that's how you purchase them in my online shop. They come with the usual Koni equipment, which is this one, the assembly parts. These are used ones from my old yellow ones, which I will use. That's why they look like this. And then what is standard for the Koni dampers, you will have to use the old, what are they called? Dust tubes. You know what I mean. They usually don't get damaged, and that's what you easily can take from the old dampers. And for the Koni, you need to drill this out to 12 mm because the piston rod is a little bit bigger, a little bit thicker, to give it more stability. And then of course you need the end stops from the old dampers. And also I would suggest to buy some new rubbers here for the mounting point on the chassis. So that's what you get and that's what you need. Before starting the assembly, we should also talk about the ride height, because I know the tuning community has a wide variety of taste and looks and whatever. So a lot of people want to slam their cars to the ground and therefore would need some shortened dampers. This is not for that purpose, because performance-oriented ride height on the 202 is pretty much close to the originally sports model ride height, maybe a little bit lower, but not that much. And that's why these dampers are not different from the yellow ones when it comes to height. And with these you could go with a lowering rate of like 50 millimeters on the front, 30 on the rear. But I would always recommend to just go 40-30 or 40-40 maybe. It depends on the weight distribution on your car. But to slam the car, it would be not the right way to get a nice track tool. It's good for show, it's good for looks, but not for a nice performing track tool. And that's why with these dampers you cannot slam the car to the ground. And that's what I want to say before. And so let's start the assembly. First of all, you should put the adjuster knob all to the minus adjustment, but you need to counter the damper rod with the hand, otherwise it will spin. This is already on the lowest adjustment, and then you can just take the knob off. Later it will be clamped by those screws on top here to this adjuster rod. But for assembly, of course, this needs to be on the side. We will place this plastic washer on the rod. And also the end stop facing this way. Then we can place the dust protection, and afterwards this shell, and of course the rubber one, the new one I have laying on the ground, but of course this one will be placed here, and then it is ready for going into the car. There you see the nice new damper on the car. Doesn't look special so far, except for the color. Tighten it according to the Koni specification. There's a paper coming with the dampers which tells you how to tighten the damper rod. And now it's time to assemble the adjustment knob. For the knob installation, just push it on up until you see the adjustment rod almost a millimeter below the surface of the knob, and you feel it is on for all the way. And then tighten the screws equally from both sides, so from this side and the back, and make sure it's tightened. And now we are ready to adjust. You hear the clicks? And for the adjustment, I would go 12 clicks for beginning, and then see how it behaves, and then maybe make it softer, a little bit tighter. It depends on the weight distribution, so I think I will start with 12 clicks on the front, 12 on the back, and maybe I need to tighten it a little bit more on the front because the engine I have here is somewhat heavy. But that's it for the front. Now I will do the back and show you a little, and then we're done. Same result on the rear. Look at this nice damper. Oh yeah. Okay, and for the rear there's something special, because as you know, these cover sheets here, they normally hide the damper mounting point, and therefore it would be hard to adjust while driving. And I made some cutouts and put some cable hose around the cutout, so it looks like this. I think it looks okay. And with that I can adjust the damper whenever I want without disassembling this whole stuff here. Yeah, and now the dampers are in. And it's time to wait for the special springs. And this might be just a short video, just to show you my progress on the suspension. And I hope you liked it. And thank you for watching. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, and see you in the next one.